My name is Richard. My family and I have decided to leave the UK for good and travel and possibly find somewhere to settle that's sunny. Do we all agree on this plan? Me and my wife and our kids. The short answer is yes. Yes, we do. My wife used to work on cruise ships and she misses travelling, she misses the sun. And I'm fed up of the UK. So, yes, definitely we agree. And the kids, are they excited? Damn right they're excited. What do they want to see? Unicorns! Okay. Turtles, crocodiles, sharks. They're really excited about going travelling and seeing lots of different animals. Parrots, for example. They're excited by all of these things. So yes, we're all on the same page with the travelling. And as a neurodiverse family, we're not always on the same page. We butt heads quite a lot. And it's hard to get the kids to do anything because you can't tell them straight off, say, go and do this, because that causes problems. It's like, no. You get a flat no. You have to... We work around these subjects. What does my family think, the rest of our family and friends think about us going? Well, the response has been fantastic. There's been no sort of negative thoughts and, yeah, you shouldn't do this because what will happen if this. We do get a lot of this online, though, as like, what you're going to do if it doesn't work. And the answer to that is it doesn't matter because our default is coming back and getting a job, which is what we were doing anyway. We'd just be back here again. It's not really a problem. So someone else's life, working, living in the UK, is our default setting, isn't it? So I think we can improve on that. We have a financial plan to go and do that. So we hope to do this long term. We're not leaving for a holiday. This is real life. We're going to go and live in another culture in a warmer climate that's slightly cheaper. That's our plan. And that's the one plan that we all agree on. And there's an interesting story here because I think people's mindsets have changed a lot in the last sort of 10 years. 10 years ago, if somebody said this, they would have, you would have been like, I think you're making a terrible decision. If you leave the UK, the world will end. Or you know what I mean. More recently, with what's going on and what has happened in recent history, people are more open to this kind of thing. And we were at a country park, and I was with my two young girls. I said, just wait here, I'm just going to nip in the toilet. So I nipped in the toilet, came out, and they were talking to this elderly couple. And the woman was like, oh, I've just asked them about school. They said they don't go to school. And they said, yep, we've home educated them for 4 years. And then he said, and apparently you've given up your job. And I went, yep. And that's kind of the two questions that were there. And I thought, right, I need to have to expand on this now. Because they looked a bit confused, like, what are you doing? So I said, they told them the plan. I said, we're leaving the UK for a better life abroad. I gave up my job to do that. We're selling the house and we're going to leave with nothing. And they were like, wow, that's fantastic. What an opportunity that is. So the responses we're getting to our plans are far different to what you would have got 10 years ago. Everyone years ago was obsessed with houses and stability and old age. What's going to happen? Now all of this is turned on its head. What happened with COVID, pensions collapsing, the housing market's a bit iffy. All the things that people have seen as stability are now being questioned. And our government now is making people question it even more because of what they're doing or what they're not doing, or who knows what they're doing. Nobody knows because they don't know. So people are questioning. And that's good. So people are now questioning, why don't I do it? So we watch several families and several couples that have left the UK. And they're so happy. And they've realised how miserable they were in the UK, living a life that's been lived here for hundreds of years now. Maybe it's out of date living this way, a static life like that. And I'm really looking forward to being slightly more nomadic, investing so we can pooling all the resources and money we've got, putting that into stocks and shares to pay us a wage. It won't be enough for us to potentially live on, but it would be about half. So that would be fantastic. A different way of earning money and a different way of life. I think for our two young girls, I think that'll open huge opportunities. They're not going to be competing with AI in the UK to get jobs, because that's exactly what's happening now. People are being made redundant. The jobs aren't there anymore because it's cheaper and AI is better at it. Why would you employ somebody? Why would you train in something that AI can do? It's just not. It's not worth it. So why don't we go and travel the world? Give them lots of ideas and creativity to see what they want to do with their lives. They might be full-time travellers. They might end up doing safari tours. I don't know. Who knows what they're going to do? That's exciting. But I know that if we stay here, they'll be pigeonholed into a certain job, and then they'll have to try and pay rent. And it's not fair for the younger generation to be left to live an old life in a country that's changed now. So yes, we all agree what we want to do, and we're all massively excited about it. We just need to get past that hurdle of selling our house.